guess there's probably dead air, so I should say. It's University of Kentucky Public Radio, 91.3 WUKY Lexington, WUKY HD1, and streaming at WUKY.org. Good evening, and welcome, distinguished guests. It is Public Radio Music Day here at WUKY. Would like to thank you all so much for being here physically at WUKY and on the air and over the internet, wherever it is that you may be. I'm DeBron Thomas, morning host of Rock and Roots and host of the Crunkadelic Funk Show here on 91.3 WUKY. So Public Radio Music Day. This event has been several years in the making. I'm excited to be here and would be remiss to mention our sponsors. Special thanks to our food sponsor for Public Radio Music Day, Spindletop Hall, the alumni club for UK since 1962, available for weddings or private events. Membership information is available at 859-255-2777 or at www.spindletopHall.org. Also, thanks to Bank of the Bluegrass. Bank of the Bluegrass Trust and Company, member FDIC, an independent, locally owned and operated commercial bank since 1972 with 3 locations in the Lexington area. Bank of the Bluegrass and Trust Company has made community service a pillar of its mission with programs like Random Acts of Kindness that empower employees to help those around them who might be in need. The bank and its employees are active in volunteer work with dozens of local organizations. And for more information, visit bankofthebluegrass.com. Also, a special thanks to our advertising sponsor of Southland Printing. And I also would mention to those of you who are here to encourage you to visit, take a walk around the building and view our Urban Art Collective. I'd like to give a shout out to Dr. Abini El Amin because I'm going to be real honest. As the only black person on staff, it is really, really nice to see artwork represented from many diverse backgrounds, and it's a wonderful thing that we have included in our mission. So with that, I'm very excited because this is like 3 years in the making. If you do not know, Public Radio Music Day launched in 2020. And we were talking about, well, who are we going to get for Public Radio Music Day? I was like, yo, it would be great if we got Chill. And everything worked out and it was fine. No, we were all there. We remember how it worked out. So unfortunately, we didn't have anyone for the first local music or Public Radio Music Day, but I am super happy to introduce you all from Harrodsburg, Kentucky, Chill Napier.
Thank you.
Hey, Chill.
What up, baby?
How you doing?
I'm good. How about yourself?
All right. We are so excited to have you here.
I'm honored to be here. Excited as well. A little nervous.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah? Well, it's not like you haven't done this before or anything.
No, but it's been 3 years. We just figured out the timing of everything. And every show, we're like, that's the last show. Yeah, 2020. That's the last show. Yeah, 2020.
Which feels like 15 years ago.
Yeah.
In now times.
It does.
But anyway, so I guess to those who are not familiar with you and your incredible talents, you've been here I know you're originally from Harrodsburg and you've been in and out of Lexington for a while, but where have people might been able to see you?
So venue-wise?
Or, outer space?
I mean, essentially everywhere pretty much in Kentucky. As far as music, I mean, in Lexington, Al's Bar, the Borough, Manchester, sidewalks, farmers market.
I saw you playing a porta potty once.
Yeah. I played down.
Yeah.
I did that, but that's a whole other story.
That's how you keep the funk alive for real, though. Well, we're so happy to have you here. And like I said, it's just an honor to get to share this space with you. So I guess before we get started, can you just, in your own words, what does public radio mean to you?
Public radio is probably one of my favorite pastimes, as funny as it is. But that's because I've always been I love supporting local artists from all over. Most people ask me, that popular person? I was like, are they here? That's where that comes from. And listening to both your show and the other radio stations around town, That's what stays on my radio. I mean, keeps you linked into what's happening in your community. So,
Well, and I just think that, I mean, you can speak to this as well. There's an incredible, really connected artist collaborative here in Lexington. I mean, we're all, for the most part, a family. So it's always just nice to get to see people on the street and performing.
yeah.
So with that, let's get into some music. What you gonna play for us?
Okay. I think the first one is going to be called, and all of the songs that I'm doing today, I wrote probably 12 years ago. And so I'll be somehow, at some part, rewriting them as I'm singing them. But this one's called Morning Blues. Actually wrote this with my mother.
David Napier.
I wake up in the morning with a smile upon my face, and then I open up my eyes and wipe the sleep off of my face. I drink a glass of coffee before I smoke a cigarette, and then I take a real long shower, 'cause I don't wanna go to work yet. So I go to work, but I don't wanna. Said that I go to work, yeah. That's not where I wanna be, but it doesn't hurt. But I jump into my car and suddenly I drive away. I need to make some money and I've got to do it today. My mind is going crazy 'cause I have music on my mind. And I know, yes I know, that I can turn my car around and I can drive back home. I can strip away my uniform and put my guitar on. I can write a song for you, 'cause that's all I wanna do. Yeah. But I've got to be responsible, don't you know? And I've got to pay all my bills, 'cause life is real, yeah. Well, I've got a chance to make a chance to have a little romance, but I gotta have a little money in my pocket, yeah. I gotta put a little money in my pocket, yeah. I'm trying to get over this blues, 'cause I gotta go to work, yeah. And it doesn't hurt, but I just wanna play my guitar. Thanks, y'all.
I've heard you play that song many times over the years, and it never gets old. But I do want to ask.
Changes.
Well, I do want to kind of ask you a slightly serious question, though. You did say that you wrote that song with or for your mother.
With.
And I know she was a big influence in your life.
Yep. And
passed away last year.
Mm-hmm.
How has that impacted, just you as an artist?
Let's just say I now make spoons. It's not that I ran away from music, so to speak, because I still play on a regular basis. Every week I'm picking up my guitar, but just playing live hasn't felt necessarily the same. Yeah. And so coming back to this was like a big jump back into, that kind of life. That's how I was raised. My whole family is music.
Well, you are tuned in to 91.3 WUKY. It is Public Radio Music Day, and we are here with a live performance from Chill Napier here in our studios with a host of plenty of people. Why don't y'all give yourselves some love? This is currently being broadcast over the air and on the internet. You can continue to join and support WUKY right now with a contribution at 859-257-9859 or online at wuky.org. So Chill. How did you? I just remember the very first time we met. You started singing, and I was just on the floor because I was like, "How is that voice real?" Like, So I gotta know where like did you when you were coming up? Because I know your mom was a singer, but like, did it always come that naturally to you, or did you have to
I
read a
mean,
book?
everything requires work. But, my mother's tutelage, and I've also had some other teachers, Ron Browning, who's in Nashville, grew up around them, and then studied at Western Kentucky University, where I got my classical training. But yeah, I mean, it was always a thing. I was always, since I was a baby, singing at church and singing in different community events and different things. Yeah.
And I know you said that you've been working with these spoons for a couple years, and I as an artist myself, I've just been really, really fascinated by you're really good at it, and most of the time people's first or second thing isn't as good as a lot of other people's things. So it's just great you got consistency all the way through. He can sing, he can make spoons. But has that been something that you've found that maybe kind of bleeds into your music in a little bit? Have you learned things from making spoons that show up in music?
Relatively. I mean, really, it's any kind of art is expression. So that's just a new way, a new outlet for that. Got to thank my wife for that one.
Shout out to Amanda.
But yeah, she asked me to make a spoon one day. I made one and then realized that this was a really peaceful thing to get into, sitting down with knives and Dremels and blah, 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 and just kind of getting through the day, so to speak. Yeah.
So with songwriting, is your process for making spoons, does the inspiration come the same way, or is it different?
Totally different. It's, different and the same, because when I'm sitting down writing, it takes me a while to get all the thoughts out that I want to put together. But with spoons, it's similar, because when I get to making one spoon, I want to make another one, and then I'm working on 16 different designs, and yeah, it becomes a thing.
What's the weirdest spoon you've made so far?
A crop circle spoon.
Okay.
Well, I don't know. I don't know if that's the weirdest. Can I say yoni online?
We're FCC legal.
Yeah, I made a yoni spoon for a massage therapist friend of mine.
Wow, that's really cool. Well, once again, you are tuned in to Public Radio Music Day here on WUKY. Special thanks to our sponsors, the Spindletop Hall at the Alumni Club for UK since 1962, along with Bank of the Bluegrass and Trust and Southland Printing. So Chill, what are you going to play for us next?
I think the next one, since we've talked about Mom, is another song that I put together with her. There's 3 of those on this list, and this one is actually called Mother's Words.
Chill Napier.
If you don't know the practice, be careful of the taxes you still have to pay your dues. And if you want to be a player, don't take it from the soothsayer, or else you might be playing the blues. 'Cause it's not a game, but we play every day. Spending time unlike spending money, we tend to throw it all away. Don't waste your time chasing impossibilities. Choose to be free, be free, be free. And if you listen to advice from devils, you'll probably get somewhere and be leveled. Oh, 'cause that's the price we pay for playing with fools. And if you don't hear what I'm saying, well, baby, then you're probably playing. Oh, go on and keep doing what it is that you do. But know that it's not a game, but we play every day. Spending time unlike spending the money, we tend to throw it all away. Don't waste your time chasing impossibilities. Choose to be free, be free, be free, yeah. No, 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 yeah, 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 yeah. No, 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 oh, yeah. Do, 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 no, yeah. Oh, 'cause it's not a game, but we play every day. Spending time unlike spending the money, we tend to throw it all away. Don't waste your time chasing impossibility. Choose to be free, be free, be free. Even if it's not made for you and me, we will continue to be free. Oh, you and me, we will be free, yeah.
Chill Napier on 91.3 WUKY. This is Public Radio Music Day. You know, when we when we do the pledge drive, and Joe and I do Joe's Blues, I try to keep track of how many times he says Rockin' Roots during Joe's Blues. And I almost said Rockin' Roots, so I'm going to count that for, so y'all, I did it once, all right? Once.
And if you're at home, make it a drinking game.
Once again, we would not be able to be here doing what we do without support from listeners just like you. Also, thanks to our sponsor, the club at Spindletop Hall, along with Bluegrass Trust and Company, and our advertising sponsor, Southland Printing. I'm DeBron Thomas here with Chill Napier. Again, this is live over the radio. Also, one thing that I think that, you know, Marconi, DeForest, and Fessenden probably didn't imagine is that you could also see your face on the internet.
That's crazy.
Can you imagine?
Where are the cameras?
Can you imagine going back in time and telling somebody about the internet?
Yeah.
That just seems like a, anyway. So chill. I have to say, I really, it's an absolute honor to get to watch you do your thing. Because, you know, we've been coming up in this scene for a long time together, going through all of the times where people were asking if I was chill. We don't look that much alike, but I mean, if I sounded like you, I might pretend I was you. You know,
I mean, well, you know, it's not like I haven't been you in another
well,
space.
sorry. Sorry for your loss. So, as we're kind of coming out of this time now with, you know, we're still in the pandemic. It's still kind of really unclear, like, what things are going to look like. How has, I guess, your approach for music, I guess, moving forward kind of changed? Are you looking at things on the horizon to do?
Yep. So there's a project I've been working on for the past couple of years. It's called Team Space Cats. Eventually, we will release some music. And right now, I just started to get back into the swing of writing some new melodies and getting some inspiration rolling. I've got a lot to work with over the last couple of years.
So I'm going to ask Chill a question in public that he asks me all the time. Sorry to put you on the spot, but so when's your record coming out?
Who knows? Summer of 2007.
Oh, okay. I'll put that on the calendar.
All right.
Great. If that's not in the Gregorian calendar, though, is it?
No. But I'm planning on writing some singles and stuff, trying to get the word back out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it is just so wonderful to get to hear you again and see you again. And sorry for the people on the radio who can't see you, but if you go to our YouTube page, you can see Chill.
You can.
So there is that. So what do you got for us next?
This one is the last one that I wrote with Mom. It is another sad story, but I was sitting with one of my uncles as he was passing, and we were having he was a pastor, and so he would have some incredibly insightful moments, but then you could tell where his mind was going, and so he'd go from, just make sure that you're minding your P's and Q's all the way to, why y'all in my room? Who's in my house? And so, like, it was, but sometimes it was a less subtle jump, you know what I mean? And so this song kind of embodies those last moments I got to kind of spend with him.
I love that. This is Public Radio Music Day on 91.3 WUKY. This is David Chill Napier.
Now if I can remember the chords. Never overanalyze everything that you see with your eyes. 'Cause all the possibilities are bigger than us. Don't you think about it too much. Can't you stop and smell the flowers? Oh, I can. I can do it for hours. 'Cause all of these roses and those trees, their beauty don't compare to you, and you will see that. That this is a good life that we live. This is the good life that we give. Don't hold back, just live your life as best as you can. This is a good life that we show, only the good life that we know. Don't live in the past, make the present good and make the present last. Seize the day and don't you waste another minute, but cherish the moments as we look up toward the sky. Speak nothing but the truth, lying's much too common in this world. And people will see that all up in your eye. Oh, 'cause this is a good life that we live. This is a good life that we give. Don't hold back, just live your life as best as you can. This is the good life that we show, only the good life that we know. Oh, perfect timing. Oh. Sometimes a good life can get a little bit strange, but let me tell you this one thing, we're all still gonna be okay.
Chill Napier on listener-supported radio 91.3 WUKY. This is Public Radio Music Day, is supported in part by our sponsors, Bank of the Bluegrass, along with the club at UK Spindletop Hall and Southland Printing, and of course, as everything is supported at this station, by listeners just like you. So chill. I feel like I keep asking you very serious questions, and I promise I will ask a less serious question.
That's all right. I've been pretty serious for the last little while, so.
I mean, haven't we all for real though? So we have been living through this time of a repeated cycles after cycles after cycles, and I know you've been out there in the streets with me before, doing various things, and also working in behind the scenes. But, we've had some really, really wonderful, hard conversations over the last few years. And I just kind of wanted to ask, like, as we're in this moment now with things that repeat in cycles, where do you find ducks? Usually on a pond.
Man, I find them quite often, actually.
Well, I
wish I could silence those ducks.
Really just quacks me up sometimes to think about it. Hey, did you know that speaking of ducks, did you know that Quincy Jones did the horns on the DuckTales theme song? Felt like it was a good time to share that information.
We have definitely shared that moment.
I mean, we have not collectively jumped into a pot of money. One day, maybe.
Yeah, no, that's on its way.
But in all seriousness, how has the time and times we live in, with everything going on in the world right now, where do you draw inspiration to carry hope? Because you are one of the most, just if you've ever been around Chill, which I think that at a distance, everyone should at least wave at him. There's definitely a magnetic energy around you, but you're also a human being, and we all go through things, day in and day out. So I'm just real curious, how do you continue with that each and every day?
I guess as the saying goes, the show must go on, right? We all go through what we go through loss, through any type of pain that we may feel. But if you wake up in the morning and you're breathing, you know what I mean? It's a good reason to smile, and not everybody's that lucky. And so if I waste my time being on this planet, just one day, then I feel like I've just not accomplished, you know what I mean? I feel like I've not accomplished anything if I just kind of sit around. Amanda will tell you, even my sitting around is me taking my studio apart and revamping things, and it's always a rebuilding process, right? So you get up, and whatever it is that you've gone through, that next day, it's time to create a solution, figure out a solution. Even if there is none, you try to find something.
That's really, really wise words. I think it's true, because I feel personally, one of the things that keeps me going each and every day is our listeners. I'll be 100% honest. Mm-hmm. There've been plenty of days where I get up and I'm like, I gotta go into that place again, and I gotta go do that again. And then I think about the messages that I've gotten from listeners over the years, and still get, And just knowing that impact, and everybody's got a space and a platform to be able to impact the world, and I think that you do that incredibly well.
Thank you.
So, I know that I said I wasn't gonna ask you another sad question. So,
Ask away.
So, I'd like to ask about something happy. You got married.
I did.
Yeah.
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 I don't have the ring on, but she does. I have to play guitar.
I think that's a valid excuse.
Yeah.
So, I think that, I don't know, I remember Hendrix was on the Dick Cavett show one time, and he had asked him, paraphrasing this question about, how can you play the blues when you're making money and you're rich and da-da-da-da-da. And Jimmy was like, it's a lifestyle. It's a way of life. Just because I have these things doesn't change anything. And I feel like you are awesome. And
well, I appreciate it.
Yeah. But I think that also it's hard sometimes as an artist to I don't know, just not feel every single thing each and every day. And also, one other thing that I would share with our listeners is that you're also an incredible teacher, and you're sharing this gift that you have with other people. So, from a performance standpoint, what's the kind of difference of mindset between playing music and teaching?
It's the same. I mean, because it's just guided. It's just telling them what I'm doing, essentially. So if somebody's trying to learn how to sing, then it's not necessarily the technicality that's got to be the most important part. It's feeling and understanding that you're in the right pocket, and so trying not to be also, I guess it takes practice, not being engulfed in your feelings. Because we can have the musicians that cry after every song, or we sing and we put our whole selves into that song. That way, that was the release versus me just running off stage every time I sing something sad or I think about something sad. Yeah, and so same kind of concept as to when you're teaching. It's especially from my standpoint, looking at my student, if I'm not in the best of moods, I know, just like with with your listeners, I have somebody that's looking up to me to give them information that they may not have or just brushing back up on. And so now I get up and I'm like, all right, it's time to teach something new.
So are all your students in person now at this point?
Yeah. Well, no, actually I have one student that's online, but one of my students is here today.
All right. Well, can you do some more of that singing that you do so well?
Man, I might have another song in me.
Okay.
I do.
Okay, great. All right, just had to double check. All of the songs are here. I don't know exactly where you're holding them, but they're here somewhere. It's Public Radio Music Day on 91.3 WUKY. This is Chill Napier.
And thanks again, y'all. This one is leaving from songs that I wrote with my mom. Is a cliche. It's literally the title lists cliches. Laugh your heart out, dance in the rain, cherish the moment, ignore the pain, live, laugh, love, forgive and forget. Life is too short to be living with regrets. As a wise man said, you better believe in yourself. Might as well keep the faith, yeah, yeah. Don't ignore your health. And be refined by speaking your mind. 'Cause today is the day that we begin our lives together. Yeah, 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 yeah. Laugh your heart out while we dance in the rain. Cherish the moments. Don't ignore the pain. Live life alone. Forgive and forget. Life is too short to be living with regrets. Let's live without regrets. The days are getting better, yeah. Living without regrets, yeah. Thanks, y'all.
Chill Napier on University of Kentucky Public Radio 91.3 WUKY. That's 2 for me tonight.
Take a drink.
I'm still counting, so hold it against me, please. So one of the things that I kind of started doing when I first came to the station was Local Music Mondays. Was my attempt to bring awareness to local musicians, and Chill was one of the people that I had featured. And I used to ask this question at the end of each interview, and it's funny to think about it now, because the question that I was asking was, I'm not from here, but I've been here for about 15 years, and every musician that has been here their whole lives, or at least was here in the 90s, will tell you how great it was in the 90s. And particularly that Lexington has had this like up and down roller coaster of burgeoning music scene, art scene, and then, right? And I think that like with COVID, we lost a couple music venues, and the way that artists are kind of having to approach these things are different now. So I'm gonna ask you the same question, but just like 10 years later. All right, are you ready?
Oh yeah.
Okay. So I have to like visualize my younger self.
Here, let me go ahead and get introspective too.
Okay. Is this on? Hello? John, can you help me, please? Oh, sorry, went too far back. So Lexington has always kind of had this, recurring trend of the art scene growing and growing and growing, and then kind of dipping off. And, years ago when I asked you this question, I said, we're kind of at that point where, all right, are we going to continue to move upward, or are we going to dip again? And I feel like you and I have both kind of seen it do halfway. But now, at this point in time, what do you think needs to happen for us as a community to kind of continue building this and, keep pushing that upward trend?
Inclusivity, always. That's you see, that's what usually happens with the music scene is you see the same 3 bands over and over again, and then that venue kind of dies off because it's all that you see. And okay, I've seen them 30,000 times. And so to see more diversity in venues and seeing more work done in Well, honestly, we're getting real to see more venues do more promotion for the local artists that are in town, that are trying to play around and trying to get out there. But also, from a musician standpoint, some of y'all need to leave Lexington as well. and branch out and do some more stuff, and bring what you find outside back to Lexington as well. So a big balance between the venues and the artists.
Yeah. See, and this is my favorite part because Chill just usually says the loud part or the quiet part out loud. So yeah, thanks for saying that. And I mean, I will be honest too. I think part of the reason why my kind of like drive for doing Local Music Monday, outside of the fact that I literally just did not have the time to do it anymore, was I was putting all this work in, talking to different people, and like you said, going out and seeing the same 3-4 bands on the same bill at the same venue over and over and over again. Now, it has gotten better in the last few years.
It has.
But come on, Lexington, we can do a lot better, I think.
Yeah.
So, Chill, we've got just a little bit of time left.
We do.
Yeah, we just got a few more minutes before they kick us both out. Are you going to take me to get a snack on the way home?
Yeah.
Okay, great. Is that cool with you, Amanda? Absolutely. Cool, great. Getting snacks. So what do you have for us? Because by the way, did you hear me play United Nations Stomp for you earlier today?
I did.
Okay, great. Great. When I say I do things for my listeners, that reminder that sometimes your friends hear the dumb things you say on the radio, like, yeah. But anyway, so yeah, Chill. What you got for us now?
My last one, it's a short ditty, and it's called Radio.
A short ditty called Radio.
Yeah.
Chill Napier on listener-supported radio 91.3 WUKY.
All right. This is actually the first song I wrote. Well, my hoopty still got its stereo. Just got one tire that's low. I've got $5 in my pocket just to get a little bit of gas. Downhill and neutral make it last. But it's a beautiful day in my neighborhood. Woke up this morning feeling good. No bloodshed, no tears. I've got music for years. Long as I've got my radio. But I've got holes in my socks. My shoes ain't got soul. Only one tire's flat, but I ain't got far to go. Oh no. Do I have to work? I really don't know. But as long as I've got my radio, you know that I'm cool with it, yeah. But it's a beautiful day in the neighborhood. Woke up this morning feeling good. No bloodshed, no tears. I've got music for years. Long as I've got my radio. Thanks, y'all.
Chill Napier on listener-supported radio 91.3 WUKY. This is Public Radio Music Day, but before we get out of here, just want to say, where can people find your information?
Well, just opened up a new website thanks to my wife, happyspooning.com. Find me on there. Instagram, all that stuff. You can find Big Chill or David Napier, and Happy Spooning. And then pretty soon we'll be releasing a podcast. So, should I say that one? And the name of that will be Canalacha. Yeah.
Wow. Chill Napier on listener-supported radio 91.3 WUKY. This is Public Radio Music Day, and it would not be possible without Our sponsorships, the club at Spindletop Hall, the Bank of the Bluegrass Trust and Company, and our advertising sponsor, Southland Printing. Stick around because we are going to have some music from the Ruin Brothers. So for those of you who are physically here, again, I encourage you to take a stroll around the building and view our Urban Art Collective gallery. And for those of you on the internet, well, stick around and stay tuned. We'll be right back. It's Rockin' Roots. No, it's not. That was number 3. That was number 3. That was number 3. This is WUKY, listener-supported radio. I don't have anything to drink. But I'm going to just fade off into the ether, into the ether, into the ether, into the ether, into the ether.
Just ruffle talk all around the room. The party kept on going on. But then Jane came along. I was on the systematic down approach with everything I noticed. She's hooked and nobody knows. She's always looking for the better, but she's out of control. Yeah, yeah. She's hooked and nobody cares.
This is University of Kentucky Public Radio, 91.3 WUKY Lexington, WUKY HD3, and streaming at WUKY.org.
Hanging out one night, he said, "Hello, I'm George. Hi, life. How's everything going, huh? How you doing? Hope everything's fine. Ooh, and can I call you sometimes? Can I get the digits and the address so I can come visit?" I gave him the digits. That wasn't a problem, cause if he caused any, I would have to solve them. Cause George looked good, damn good. And if I didn't, some other girl would. In my mind, I hope for the best, convincing myself that this was not a test. Cause I heard many things about Georgie, nothing kinky, like no orgies. I heard he knows how to make love, like an angel from the heaven above. Who was I kidding? I'd give him a try. His life needs love too, and that ain't no lie. Keep your ears open, hope that you're listening, cause I'm about to take you on a Georgie Porgy mission. Him the number, I saw it in his eyes. She gave me the number, I'm surprised. Good conversation over the phone. He began to comfort me whenever I was alone. George was sweet, so nice and so neat. With any other guy, he didn't have to compete. George was mature, he made sure that he was the only man I'd ever adore. Girls, have you ever had a friend that you get with every now and then? I know for a fact George had a lot of girls spread out from state to state around the world. As long as he was smart and kept his girls in check, made sure I never saw them and showed me respect. He didn't have to be loyal like men should be. I don't care about the other girls, just be good to me. But if I ever saw one, that would be the end. He couldn't kick the storyline and she was just a friend. The girls I didn't care if I don't lie. See, cause Georgie was into making young girls cry. George was clean, no drugs and such, but once in a while he'd drink too much. Hanging in the club where they played rockers, him and his friend drinking vodka. I was looking for him and I found him there with his clothes messed up and his up hair. I told him he was messing up, he wouldn't go far. He got mad and asked his friends for the keys to the car. I said, "Don't drive, use your head. Drive while you're drunk and you'll kill yourself dead." We began to argue, bad words were said. Then he got kicked out by some long-haired dread. Ran into the car as if in a hurry. He started the car, but his vision was blurry. He didn't care, he drove off into the night, riding for miles without his headlights. Georgie Porgy had too much on his mind. He was still young, yet running out of time. Last week he took tests and the doctor told him George had cancer in his lungs and his colon. See, when he was 12, he started smoking. Paid no attention when he started choking. Thoughts flashed through his head, there they stuck. Till Georgie Porgy crashed into a truck. I wish I would have told him how I liked him so much, how he made me feel with the slightest touch. Now he's gone and I can't tell him nothing.
on this side of the border.
Give me some of that.
Won't y'all come on over here with us? Wanna walk the water? And if you ever should see a skunk shake his rump, tell him to come on over here for some snake funk in the dump, baby. Now we got this stick that will set you free. All you got to do is take a closer walk with me. And we got this thing that's full of magic tricks. So come feel, if you will, the magic of the WUKY stick. They want to play for you. Play, Bubba. Yeah. They want to sing to you.
A weenie in my evening smoke.
They want your hips to move. And a dookie in your WUKY, baby. They want your lips to groove. I feel a thrill.
Funky in the donkey.
I've got this magic wand that's guaranteed to make you come to me, baby, to set yourself free. My magic wand can do almost anything, spitting fire, making rain, but most of all, it can make you spread your wings and fly away.
Talk to me quick.
Let me know, Bubba.
We want your mind to blow.
My mind is growing. Is that all?
We want your mind to blow. We want your
Streaming at WUKY.org. I'm Joe Conkright, and thank you so much for joining us for this very special edition of Public Radio Music Day. It's a national-wide celebration uniting public radio stations, fans, artists, other members of the music community, and recognizing and spreading the word about the special role non-commercial stations play in music across the world and locally and nationally. It's an important role. It serves the listeners in a way that's more connected to the artist, the station, and your own ears, because public radio is listener-supported. It's not governed by an algorithm or a programmer located hundreds of miles away. It's community-driven, it's organic, and we believe more satisfying. This is actually just the 4th annual Public Radio Music Day, and each year the showcase grows with stations across the country joining to celebrate. 25 million Americans tune in to non-commercial music stations each week, and WUKY is proud to provide our voices and music to this cause of presenting a diverse and exciting format for musicians and music fans. This year's theme is Building Community Through Music. That not only builds on the momentum of spreading awareness of public radio's impact on American audiences, but it provides stations with an opportunity to engage with a new generation of music listeners. Very special thanks this evening for Southland Printing and their contributions to tonight's event, and Spindletop Hall, an elegant mansion featured in the Disney film Secretariat. They've served as the alumni club for the University of Kentucky and operated as a private club in Lexington since 1962. The club at UKY's Spindletop Hall serves as this year's food sponsor to help celebrate Public Radio Music Day. Finally, thank you to Bank of the Bluegrass Trust and Company, member FDIC. It's an independent, locally owned and operated commercial bank since 1972. 3 locations in the Lexington area. Bank of the Bluegrass and Trust Company has made community service a pillar of its mission with programs like Random Acts of Kindness that empower employees to help those around them who might be in need. The bank and its employees are also active in volunteer work with dozens of local organizations. You can find out more information at bankofthebluegrass.com. I'm Joe Conkright from 91.3 WUKY, the afternoon host of Rock and Roots. And I'm very happy to welcome back to Central Kentucky the Ruin Brothers.
As we walk out to your car, I can see the stillness in your heart, knowing we may never meet again, knowing we'll just be those distant friends. Yeah, I can feel the slowness inside you, I can feel the slowness inside me. Yeah, I can feel the slowness, can feel it hold us. Come feel the slowness, slow, 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 slow. You take me to the city, oh let's get drinks. Tell me again, though we stand on the brink. Yeah, you don't even think the trouble that you bring. I'll treat you like a queen, but I'll never be a king. As we walk out to your car, I can see the stillness in your heart, knowing we may never meet again, knowing we'll just be those distant friends. Yeah, I can feel the slowness inside you. Yeah, I can feel the slowness inside me. I can feel the slowness, I can feel it harder. Come feel the slowness, slow, 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 slow. Yeah, I can feel the slowness inside you. Yeah, I can feel the slowness inside me. Yeah, I can feel the slowness, I can feel it hold it. Come feel the slowness, slow, 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 slow.
Thank you.
The Ruin Brothers on listener-supported radio 91.3 WUKY Public Radio Music Day. That song, Slow Draw, just one of the excellent songs off the lush and exotic-sounding new album, 10 Paces from the Ruin Brothers. Henry and Rupert Stansel, you guys have not always been ruined. When did you choose that name, and what was the reason?
It was actually our sister that chose the name, and it's nothing all too creative, unfortunately. It's basically where we're from in the north of England. You drop your H when you say Henry, so Ru, N, and it was as simple.
Gotcha.
It was as simple as that. And she says, "Why don't you just call yourselves that? It's easier than Stansel."
That's much better than Henpert as well, the
And
Henpert
better than
Brothers.
Henpert.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I didn't like that. Yeah.
Henpert brothers.
So, how long have you guys known each other?
It's been a minute.
Yeah.
You come from a small town, a hometown, and maybe you can describe this place, because what I've read is it's not that dissimilar from a lot of towns in Kentucky.
Absolutely. Yeah. We are from, so you get an idea geographically where we are in the UK. We're about 4 hours north of London and on the East Coast, kind of parallel to Manchester, Liverpool, just on that East Coast. And it's we're from a town called Scunthorpe. And for all of it, we got voted the least romantic town in the whole country.
That's okay.
Quite an accolade. It's quite okay. But it's an old steel town, which is still operational. So it's kind of similar to like Pittsburgh, but not quite as nice.
Well, rather than work in the steel mill, you guys picked up guitars and learned how to play.
That's exactly
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
There's
But
nothing wrong with that.
No.
But you did grow up around horses, which I
did.
find interesting.
yeah,
Since you're
absolutely.
now in Louisville and you're around horses a little bit as well.
Exactly. The drive in here is very pleasant, seeing all the horses frolicking around in the fields. Yeah, it's very reminiscent of home. We had like old hacking ponies. They've all been old rescue horses, all the horses that we've had throughout our lives. And our parents currently got a couple of very old retired race horses that plod around a field back near our house. And it's it's nice. It's home from home. Because we've kind of lived all over in a lot of big cities, and now being in Louisville, it's it's kind of getting back to almost the pace of Scunthorpe, really, right?
How did you end up in Louisville after being in Brooklyn and California and all around? How did you end up in Louisville?
Well, people seem to like our music. The radio stations, WFPK, supported us early on a few years ago, and we turned up to play a show in Louisville a few years ago, and we were surprised to see probably 100 people there.
Yeah.
We didn't think anybody would turn up, and that cemented in our mind that there was some affection towards what we were doing, and so it was always on our, whenever we went through it, we felt quite good. We felt quite good about playing in Kentucky, and so it made sense to move here when it came to touring and promoting 10 Paces, our latest record, because we're quite close to a lot of cities, being quite centrally located. So.
Yeah, we lived in London for years, and we moved out to Los Angeles. We lived there for a little while, and then I was in Brooklyn we were in Brooklyn together for a good few years. I was there for 6 years, and Rupert moved back out west, and we were just like, well, it's kind of crazy you fly LA to New York, and then we drive 10 hours to get to our market where we play shows. So
This latest album, 10 Paces, actually, you worked on it from different coasts.
That's right, yeah.
And that had to be kind of a unique experience. Would you get on the phone and say, well, here, I've got this chord I'm working with this? How did that work
It
out?
was a lot like that.
Yeah, actually, the foundation of most songs comes to fruition quite independently. So I might come up with 2/3 of a song, or Henry might come up with 2/3 of a song, and it's a fairly short process to wrap it up. And typically we just exchange voice notes, iPhone voice notes, and then we finish the lyrics on Google Docs. So,
Oh, okay.
yeah, it was quite streamlined, to be honest, and we didn't argue the whole time, so that was good.
That was impressive.
The distance had some benefits.
We're going to get into the songwriting and more about this new album, but we do want to get into the music because you guys have instruments here. We're going to hear a song called The Good Surely Die, and maybe you can tell us a little bit about this song before you play it.
Absolutely, it's a positive one. This is actually where we pulled the album title from. And this was a you song. This was one that, you came to me with it. He can't even remember. That's why we split it 50-50, because he didn't even remember. But yeah, this is, it's kind of like one of those classic tales you can imagine. The good sadly often die. But anyway.
Or at least fail.
At least fail, yeah. One of the two. But yeah, we hope you enjoy it. Late in the evening, do I play on your mind? Oh, it's when I really need you, harder to find. Yeah, you don't seem to mind. No, knock on my window, blow the dust off my mind. I found my ride beside you, I wrapped my coat around you. You're in my picture where the good surely die.
told me that you needed some space. I gave you distance as you made up your case. Oh, I thought it was brave to take all our feelings and then leave it to fate. It's harder, oh, harder, harder to take. Oh, harder, oh, harder, leave it to fate. Oh, you don't even say. Oh, I found my ride beside you. I wrapped my coat around you. In my picture where the good surely die. I took my ride beside you. I took 10 paces from you. This is the part where the good surely die. Oh, and I found my ride beside you. I wrapped my coat around you. You're in my picture where the good surely die. I took my ride beside you. I took 10 paces from you. This is the part where the good surely, oh, they surely die. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
I guess the next song we're going to roll into is it's from our first record, All My Shades of Blue, and the song brought us to working with the producer on the record. We were very fortunate to cross paths with Rick Rubin, and he was the producer for the first record. He heard a demo of this song in our A&R guy's office at the time, and he was like, "Oh, I like that. I'd like to meet them. I think there's something about that song."
Well, we presume he said that because
Presumably
we
that's
ended
what
up
they
meeting
told
him.
us he said. That's what they said. And then the interesting about this song, or maybe, well, I don't know whether it's interesting or not, but we would always, growing up, we would listen to our father's advice about our songs and, send him his songs, get his feedback, see which ones he liked, what he didn't like. What he liked, we're like, must be a good one. If he didn't like it, we're like, maybe we'll cast it aside. I remember we sent him the demo of this, and he goes, "No, I don't know about that. I don't like that one." So we hid it away for 6 months. And when our A&R guy came to us saying, "Hey, you got any more songs?" And we said, "Oh, well, maybe, let's just send him it, see what he says." And it was the one that brought us to Rick, so Dad's off the committee. No more. But this one's called Summer Sun. We hope you enjoy it.
Are you going, my fading light? Where you going, it's cold at night. Without your light, oh, the sound of the night, it rings blue. Oh, and they'll sit inside until you appear. Oh, flowers hide and she'll hide until you're near. Yeah, you make things clear. Oh, through the seam of the curtain blind. In the summer roses and the petals seem to grow. The city's gold, but so cold are you there. Let her swirl around, all around the warm, warm air. If I feel you there, oh, the beating glare is on my face. Oh, and they'll sit inside until you appear. Oh, and flowers hide and she'll hide until you're near. Yeah, you make things clear. Oh, through the seam of the curtain blind. In the summer sun, my mind will settle. Oh, in the summer sun, roses and the petals seem to grow. In the summer sun, my mind will settle. Oh, in the summer sun, roses and the petals seem to grow.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
At 91, there we go. WUKY, where NPR rocks at 91.3. Public Radio Music Day, the Ruin Brothers. Beautiful song. You mentioned Rick Rubin produced that album, All My Shades of Blue.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
And if you don't know who Rick Rubin is, he's one of the great American producers. He produced the Beastie Boys and Red Hot Chili Peppers and some of Johnny Cash's finest later recordings as well. So it's cool that he picked up on your all sound, and that he loved. I think I read somewhere that he loved that it sounded like it was coming from some far off place or some far off time, which I think the audience will agree. It definitely sounds that way, like it's coming from somewhere. You hear Little Everly Brothers and Roy Orbison, maybe some Johnny Cash, and they're all kind of squeezed together and mixed up like a gumbo. This new album, 10 Paces, the first time I heard it, and I just heard a few songs off of it, before I read anything about it or anything that you guys described about it, I could tell right away that it was some kind of a Western. It was a Western from the 21st century where you really didn't know exactly what reality it came from because of the instruments. But one of the things that was different about this album is, Rupert, you produced it. And so what are some of the differences? Obviously, having somebody like Rick Rubin, who is a legend, and then having to take all of it on yourself. I know it had to be freeing in some ways and also a little daunting at the same time.
Yeah, I mean, you know, Rick is such a terrific producer in the sense that when he was working with us, he didn't impose himself on the recordings or the songwriting. He was like a gentle guide, and we were provided every opportunity at the studio to do pretty much anything we wanted within certain reason, but which our imagination could conjure. And so when it came to producing 10 Paces, we took a similar approach where we didn't want to be limited by what we felt right to do. And so we bought the appropriate equipment and did the appropriate research to be able to execute things in a way which satisfied exactly what we thought suited the songwriting in terms of production.
The album definitely has this arc, this theme of sort of the romantic American West. Did that develop right off the bat, or was it something that developed after you had a few songs under your belt and you said, oh, this is where this is going?
Well, I think the sorry, Rook, did I jump in?
No,
it's
you did,
it's in the UK growing up. American culture, or where we were at least, had quite an effect on everybody. You know, from the movies you watched, the music you consumed, and so on and so forth. And our mum would often stick us down in front of like old black and white westerns, and just, there you go. And so we had a bit of an affinity for it, the sound and the I guess you could say the aesthetic of it all growing up. And you know, even as teenagers playing in like the pubs and working men's clubs, we were doing the western nights and the country nights and so on and so forth. But when it came to putting this record, it almost felt like coming back full circle to childhood, which is kind of weird to think of that, because you probably think two English guys in the West, that's an odd thing.
But we kind of got, especially on when it comes to the soundscape, which we tried to inject into some of the songs. You know, some of our favorite Western composers are actually European, you know, spaghetti Western, so it's called. So I don't know, I think that Europe almost imagines the West in quite a magical way, and whether that's true to life or not, I'm not 100% sure, but it's a romantic image, as you say, and it's been a love of ours since childhood. So.
Well, you guys did consume some of the movies and things like that.
Yeah.
John Wayne or Clint Eastwood or someone else?
Oh, that's a tough one.
I know what my answer is.
I'd maybe go Robert Mitchum.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. We were watching a lot of the
Curveball.
We were watching a lot of the Night of the Hunter over COVID. It was a nice and cheerful film.
Rupert,
very cheerful.
I think I'd say Clint Eastwood.
Yeah, there you go. That's the right answer.
You know, I mean, but either or for me. I mean, total legends. But Clint's still with us, and so he should get the vote almost just for that reason, I think. Yeah.
I understand your father had an extensive vinyl collection, and you guys grew up with that. You absorbed that, and you were actually playing some of these kind of cowboy songs in the pubs in England and stuff.
Yeah.
Do you remember maybe something that you all played back then?
Oh, absolutely. There was a Charlie Rich number that we would play, and the reason we would play it is because it was while all of the other kids were out at like house parties and doing that stuff, we were 14 and 15 playing in these like kind of salubrious, kind of like sort of drinking holes is the best way to describe it. And
yeah, we was having more fun. And
yeah, but we would play this Charlie Rich number called Lonely Weekends, because we always thought we might have been missing out, but in retrospect, we were not. We were.
It's listener-supported radio, 91.3 WUKY, a special edition of Public Radio Music Day, visiting with the Ruin Brothers, originally from England, but based now in Louisville, and we're very happy to have them as part of our state, Henry and Rupert, here with us. We're going to dive back into their 2023 album, 10 Paces. They're going to perform a song called The Fear, which is appropriate for this time of year. Of course, we have Halloween, and it seems like every day there's something else to be scared of. So where does this song come from?
We actually wrote it specifically to really coin in on that Halloween theme. No, we wrote it because it was...
it's more of Henry's song, actually.
Yeah, this one came a little more from me, but it was when Hurricane Ida hit New York a few years ago. I lived in like a split, like a duplex in New York, and it was a basement duplex. And I had my studio in that basement, and it started filling with water. And one of the cats spotted it first. And it was it did strike the fear in me, because I was like, well, every time I get a torrential downpour, is this going to happen? And was my studio going to wash away if I wasn't home? What would have happened? And so I got this sort of like every time it would start to rain, I'd get this like this fear inside me, and so it stemmed initially from that, and then we thought a bit wider.
Yeah, when Henry showed it to me, I was like, I don't think it's going to be relatable enough because not everybody's basements flood, and mine certainly didn't. So I said, let's inject a few fairy lyrics. And yeah.
The Ruin Brothers on 91.3 WUKY.
Can I take you home, baby? No, it's not late, but lately all the people outside, they make me want to go and hide. And laughter, love, and joy and hope all hanging from a shiny rope that wraps around my neck, my dear. I try to bottle up my fear. When I'm comfy in my bed, comfy in my home, lock the door so we're all alone. Comfy in my bed like a coffin in the ground, bury me deep, 6 feet down. So won't you stay here, please don't go, dear. You're my teddy bear, pillow in the air, me sleep with no despair. When you're gone, skeleton and bone, and the ghosts they ride and roll. It's the fear, all the fear in me, all the fear you leave, all the fear, my dear, all the fear in me, all the fear you leave, as the world bleeds. Feel the fear in me. The pace at which they move is frightening, too much all the time like lightning. People all around the globe beat my brain and they overload, and they walk and talk with traffic heavy, smoke and signals blink unsteady. All my worries flurry by, I watch this world slowly die. When I'm comfy in my bed, comfy in my home, you can rock my twilight zone. Comfy in my bed like a coffin in the ground, bury me deep, 6 feet down. So won't you stay here, please don't go, dear. You're my teddy bear, pillow in the air, help me sleep with no despair. When you're gone, skeleton and bone, and the ghosts they ride and roll. It's the fear in me, all the fear in me, all the fear you leave, all the fear, my dear, all the fear in me, all the fear you leave, as the world bleeds. Feel the fear, oh, feel the fear in me.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
There was a song that we just independently released in 2016 in between one of our record deals, and it was when we first moved to Los Angeles. Rue and I were living with a buddy who we actually met at Shangri-La. He was an engineer there, and we were just sort of finding our feet. He was like, "You can come live with me." We were like, "Great." And so this was something we wrote late one night, and I don't know. We call it our disco party tune, but
It's not so disco without our drummer.
I don't know. It's not so disco. It's not so disco right now. Well,
No.
okay. This is Unknown. I hopped a plane to you, babe. I'm coming back round again. I hate to find you not alone, but everything is better left unknown. Everything is better when you don't know. I hopped the world to you, babe. I'm coming back round again. There's a light I see on, but please pretend there is no one. Everything is better when you don't know. Everything is better when you know. Everything is better to have someone. Everything is better, yeah, unknown. Everything is better to have someone. Everything is better when you know. I'll step to the bed. I'll see blue, I'll see red. I'll be calm, I'll be cold, but you can still warm my soul. Everything is better when you warm my soul. Everything is better when you I know. I know. Everything is better, yeah, unknown. Everything is better to have someone. Everything is better when you I know. And da do dum da do dum da, and da do dum da do dum da do dum da, and da do dum da do dum da do dum da, and da do dum da do dum da do dum da dum da. I say everything is better to have someone. Everything is better. Everything is better to have someone. Everything is better when you know.
Listener-supported radio, 91.3 WUKY, Public Radio Music Day, presenting the Ruin Brothers here at WUKY Studios. Henry and Rupert Stansel, the Ruin Brothers. Your music, it has a little otherworldly feel to it. I think partially because it's a slow burn. You guys are so intimate. I will encourage everyone to listen to their actual recordings, because with the production, especially on this new album, 10 Paces, it's not only like a Western, but it's like David Lynch directed the Westerns. There's a lot of really interesting instruments. You use a lot of synthesizers, and you tweak a lot of things together. You even have glockenspiel, which you get extra credit for putting that in there. I was a little disappointed no tubular bells, though. That would have been nice.
Yeah, we tried to squeeze it in, but
Did you?
amongst the mass of, of
Maybe on the
glockenspiel
next
and other
album.
things.
Next
Yeah.
one, tubular bells.
So, Public Radio Music Day. You hear us talk about it. What does public radio mean for you all? Now, I know in England, it's a little bit different how they do it. They pay for a license to listen to the radio and watch TV. Here, we have public radio. It's free. People that like it support it. They pay for it. A little bit comes from the government, but for the most part, it's listener supported. You don't have that in England necessarily.
No, the BBC, which is the majority of the radio, is the BBC back home, and that is it's funded by the taxpayer. Everybody everyone that has a television set and a radio pay about £100 a year, and it keeps it all going. And the beautiful thing about that is that there's a platform which is always celebrating art, music, film, and they are making you aware of great new things coming up and great things already in existence, and it's just it's a wonderful thing. It's how we came to fruition back home. But I have the same, I feel it's the same relevance here in America, NPR. If it wasn't for NPR here, we certainly would not have found a lot of our audiences around the country. So we have NPR to really thank for that. Because unlike streaming, where it's it's a lot of it's algorithmic, you have wonderful people like Joe here. Yeah, round of applause. He is helping guide and expose you to wonderful new music that you would otherwise perhaps not discover.
Well, in our experience, the people employed seem to be experts, and I think overall public radio stands for good taste because of that, I think.
Yeah.
Can we use that as a slogan? Is that all right?
Yeah,
Sure.
right. Yeah, take it.
WKY, it stands for good taste.
Yeah.
I'm in a T-shirt for that. You've been in Kentucky for a little while now. How long exactly have you been in Kentucky?
Since January.
Since January, okay.
Since January.
And what are some of your favorite things about Kentucky?
The space and the peace. Where I live in Louisville, we live, thankfully, now just a 25-minute stroll from each other. It's much easier than New York to LA. But the beautiful thing, unlike in Brooklyn, where I was looking over my shoulder as I exited my apartment building, now I'm looking down to make sure I'm not going to tread on a chipmunk or something. It's kind of magical. I have this, it feels magical to me because I'm managing to reconnect very much to nature, which is something that it didn't have a lot of in the bigger cities, and it's so important that for clarity and just, I'm right next to the Cherokee Park there, and that's just, I walk in that most early mornings and evenings, and it's just a really great place to go and think or not think. But that's my favorite thing about Kentucky, is having that green, the natural experience back in my life.
Rupert, has Kentucky seeped into the songwriting yet for you guys now that you've been here a little while? Are you writing songs that seem to have a little Kentucky flair?
Yeah, I mean, we are working on new music, and we're in the process of writing at the moment. And I would say it has. I mean, certainly we couldn't write it without these little breaks, as Henry says. Well, we go off into the woods and have a little walk around and gather some inspiration. But I would say also in Louisville, from what we've experienced on the live music front, a lot of the artists which have been performing are very much in our wheelhouse, and that's been inspiring. And I'm sure whether we actively notice it or not, I'm sure it will impart itself into our songs.
Well, obviously, the Everly Brothers are from Kentucky, Western Kentucky, and there is certainly that connection. So I know that when people see you in Kentucky, they immediately make that connection. Did you guys ever play any Everly Brothers songs? Was that part of your repertoire?
Oh yeah. We did Bye Bye Love, and we did Let It Be Me. We did a good few Everly Brothers. It's funny that you mentioned as well Kentucky-based music and any of it inspired. Who have we just been listening to? Jean Ritchie.
Yeah.
Oh, she's wonderful.
To Jean Ritchie. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And
there's so many
so much
amazing.
good.
I mean, even a John Jacob Niles. I mean, there's just some incredible discoveries in the state. And you go back to Mill Monroe and, of course, everything that bluegrass brought with that. But there's a very rich and deep tradition in Kentucky, even blues and jazz. Yeah. All forms of music, and now you guys are a small part of it as well. You'll have to write a Kentucky record just to cement that fact.
Absolutely, yes. No, very proud.
So what are we going to hear next?
This was the single that we released as we were releasing the record this June, and it's a song called Bullet Blues. We got a really cheerful set of songs here.
Yeah. I didn't pick them, I don't think.
The Ruin Brothers on 91.3 WUKY.
Taking aim at me and you when we're open like a wound directly affects me very hard. So please don't aim at me tonight. I'm still bleeding from our fights. They're revolving, devolving, hitting hard. Shooting hearts, bullet blues, drawing everything on you. Shooting hearts, and I know I'll lose against you. Shooting hearts, bullet blues, making ghosts of me and you. Shooting hearts, and I know I'll lose. Bullet blues. As the dust falls like petals, do you still taste the burning metal? 'Cause our words won't just settle on the ground. Holes of hope still remain, that in time will be okay. Won't you hold the draw before the final round? Shooting hearts, bullet blues, drawing everything on you. Shooting hearts, and I know I'll lose against you. Shooting hearts, bullet blues, making ghosts of me and you. Shooting hearts, and I know I'll lose. Bullet blues. Everything on you, shooting hearts, and I know making ghosts of me and you, shooting hearts, and I know I'll lose. Bullet blues, bullet
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. You're so very polite. This is very different from our teenage years. There was, I can't even tell the stories on public radio of what went on. We'll just say there's a lot of nudity in fights.
Not from us.
Not from us. No, of course. Very good save there, Rupert. Very good save. Well, maybe we'll give it up to you guys. Do you want to hear another one of ours, or do you want to hear? There's a J.J. Cale number that we'd play in the pubs years ago. Yeah, a little J.J. Cale. Okay, let's do that. You want to do that?
Yeah.
Well, we're reasonably good boys these days, and
I was always a good boy.
Really, yeah, he was always a good boy. But this is a song for all of the mamas. Not that they're gonna like it. It's called Mama Don't. We, I said, Mama don't like no guitar playing around here. Said Mama don't like no guitar playing around here. Well, I don't care what a mama don't like. Play that guitar day and night. Mama don't like no guitar playing around here. Mama don't like no bass in this place. I said, Mama don't like no bass in this place. Well, I don't care what Mama don't like. Play that bass guitar day and night. Mama don't like no bass in this place. Mama don't like no drumming going on. I said, Mama don't like no drumming going on. Well, I don't care what Mama don't like. Hit them drums all day and night. Mama don't like no drumming going on. I said, Mama don't like no reefer smoking round here. Mama don't like no reefer smoking round here. Well, I don't care what Mama don't like. Knock it back all day and night. Mama don't like no reefer smoking round here. Get down. I said, Mama don't like no cocaine in this place. I said, Mama don't like no cocaine on my face. Well, I don't care what Mama don't like. Gonna hit that bump all day and night. Mama don't like no cocaine in this place. I said, Mama don't like us playing at the same time. Well, Mama don't like us playing at the same time. Well, I don't care what Mama don't like. Play together all day and night. Mama don't like us playing at the same time. I said, Mama don't like no drinking going on. I said, Mama don't like no drinking going on. Well, I don't care what Mama don't like. Gonna knock 'em back all day and night. Mama don't like no drinking going on. Mama don't like no. Mama don't like no. Mama don't like no. I said, Mama don't like no.
Thank you.
WUKY, where NPR rocks at 91.3. Ruin Brothers with the J.J. Cale's Mama Don't Allow. You know, that song's built on the back of Book of White's Mama Don't Allow, which, it's a very good song in its own right. A little different, not as much cocaine use in that one.
That was our little twist, actually.
What was it?
It's nice you played that song, though, because it gets us back to family. And I wanted to bring this up because when you think of groups, Oasis, Creedence Clearwater Revival, the Kinks, what do they have in common? Brothers that grew to hate each other's guts. And so what I wanted to ask is, what advice would you give to musicians who are thinking about starting a band with their family, with their brother, with their sister? What's the secret?
Concede.
Yeah, I mean, I think that the taste in music, I think if that is foremost, then it'll work out okay. We have the same taste in music, and that helps a lot. We argue about the other stuff, which perhaps doesn't matter so much. But
It doesn't matter as long as you enjoy playing together, and you guys obviously do. We've got time to squeeze in one last song. This is another song, I believe, that is off 10 Paces, the new album from the Ruin Brothers, which I highly recommend. It's so much more lush and mysterious than what we have here, which is sort of an intimate, stripped-down version of their sound, which is wonderful as it is, but the record is even better. But let's hear the song Free as the Birds, I think is the name of the song.
That's right.
It's the Ruin Brothers on Rockin'. Oh, no, it's not Rockin' Roots, it's WUKY.
Okay. 4 cold brick walls make my bed upon the floor. I know you've got my key, and you keep me here eternally. My cigarettes will burn, dreaming on all the guys and girls that eyes wide as worlds, free as the birds. I wish that I had learned, heeded their words, free as the birds. Turn back the time to make life as sweet as apple pie, and I'm stuck to you like the ground under my shoes. So darling, cigarettes will burn, dreaming on all the guys and girls with eyes wide as worlds, free as the birds. I wish that I had learned, heeded their words, free as the birds. Yeah. My cigarettes will burn, dreaming on all the guys and girls that eyes wide as worlds, free as the birds. I wish that I had learned, heeded their words, free as the birds. I wish that I had learned, free as the birds.
Thank you, guys.
How great has it been having the Ruin Brothers here at WKY? Thank you, gentlemen. You're definitely going to come back and see us, I know. Public Radio Music Day. We are so happy to be celebrating a building community through music. Our program, Rockin' Roots, has been developed over time, consistently introducing experienced listeners to new music and giving younger listeners a taste of the original recipe of this amazing American musical experience. We built this format on rock and roll. What that means is ever-changing, and we love to reference back as we look ahead, providing an educational approach that you expect from any public radio source. That's what Public Radio Music Day is all about, and connecting you with musicians like the wonderful Ruin Brothers. I'm Joe Conkright from 91.3 WKY. Thank you very much for listening and joining us. It's University of Kentucky Public Radio, 91.3 WUKY Lexington, WUKY HD1, streaming at WUKY.org. And thank you all for coming. I hope you've enjoyed yourselves. If you have any questions for us, we're glad to answer. Ruin Brothers are here. They've got merchandise over there.
You won't break my soul. You won't break my soul. I'm telling everybody. There's a whole lot of people in the house trying to smoke with the yak in your mouth. And we back outside. You said you outside, but you ain't that outside. Worldwide hoodie with the mask outside. In case you forgot how we act outside. Motivation. I found me a new foundation. Yeah. Checking my new salvation. And I'ma build my own foundation. Yeah. Oh, baby, baby, you won't break my soul. 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 And I'm telling everybody, yeah. You don't seek it, you won't see it. That we all know. Can't break my soul. If you don't think it, you won't be it. That love ain't yours. Can't break my soul.